as much as many Iranians might not like the mullahs, they might not like the current system. I guarantee you they hate Israel more because they're looking at what Israel did in Gaza. They're looking at another country bombing their own. And they're like, look, and actually what it has done is reignited a lot of nationalist fervor. It's done the very opposite of these neocons, what they expected would happen.
Question. Is America better off with a country that has a leader who hates us and wants to kill us, or to have a country with a leader...
Well, he doesn't want to kill you. He's explained that, the Ayatollah. He says he's against the American system.
Who likes us and wants to be friends with us.
No, I'm not saying... Where did I say that? I never said that. I said that Tucker clearly is playing some form of role as his involvement with his father, who was in the CIA. He tried to join the CIA, but I think he represents a strand of American elites that are actually sick of Israel, and they're sick of the Zionist lobby. And if that's what he represents, then fair enough. I'm glad for it, and I hope it does work
with us. And definitely the latter is better.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so that's not a complicated statement. Look, I believe you look across the world when you have countries that have dictators that are viciously anti-America. Venezuela, Maduro hates us. Would we be better off?
Well, no wonder. Again, like, look at what America have done in Venezuela. Look at the way they... See, I understand that people won't like me. I understand that. I recognize that. Can they not recognize the reasons why people hate them?
Off with Maduro out of power? Absolutely. I want our enemies out of power, and I want our friends in power.
I could not agree more. The question is, how do you get there?
Of course.
And we've been trying to kill Maduro for quite some time. We have troops there.
I don't know that we've been trying to kill Maduro.
We have. And I think you know that. And
I don't know that.
Okay. Well, as a statement of fact, we have. So
we do have massive sanctions. We tried to pressure him out of office.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of it.
I'm just saying there's a lot of pressure coming from various parts of the U.S. government on that government, and it's still there.
Yeah.
Same. Country of your ancestors, Cuba, 1959, we've been working on that. Hasn't worked. So I think we both agree it's hard to do.
It absolutely is hard. And look, I think you're reasonable to ask, how do we produce that? And I think there's a distinction between what your objective is and the means to get it. There are all sorts of things I would say we would be better off. We'd be better off in China without Xi there. Should we invade China and topple Xi? Of course not.
Better off with no national debt.
There are lots of things,
totally.
but it's good to say, all right, what are our objectives?
Right.
And so with the Ayatollah in Iran saying you're for regime change, I don't view as complicated. I mean, the guy literally leads mobs chanting death to America. Mm-hmm. So that's not good.
Wow. Guys, breaking news. According to Reuters, US Vice President J.D. Vance accuses Israel of pushing to drag the United States into a war with Israel. Boy, oh boy. If that's true, let me just try and find that out. Let me just try and confirm that's true. I mean, if he said that, that is huge. I mean, US President J.D. Vance says America shouldn't directly be involved, warning Israel could drag America into war. Wait a second. Just wait a second. What happened? J.D. Vance. See, look, again, I always point this out. There is fighting within the wider regime. Because there's clearly been pushback right now. This is what's going to happen to J.D. Vance. I mean, maybe, but look, if he said this, everyone in America does go to war. Everyone's going to blame Israel. What did Q say? What did Q say? Trump will deal with Israel last. Are we trusting the plan? Right. Grok says Vance pushed back. He said that Israel shouldn't be directly involved. Okay. 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 Let me just play some more of this Tucker. Let me just play some more Tucker. Yeah, I mean, maybe, look, maybe they're holding out for a bigger bung. That's right, Life Simulation Droid. Maybe they're just like, look, we need more moolah, or we're not willing to fight. But if you bung us some more, then we'll do it. I know, what will Miriam Edelstein say? Yeah, look, they've had a huge pushback. Bannon's against it. Do you know who's been good? Matt Gaetz has been against it as well. There's been a big pushback, but this might just be a negotiation tactic. Well, we're not doing this, blah, blah, blah. Larry Fink will be on the phone tonight. 10 billion. Wire it right now. I want my war. I want my war. I want my war right now. Give me my war. I want my war. I want my war. Give me my war. No. My share price is going to collapse now. I'm only going to be worth 24 billion. I would have been worth 55. No. Get on the get PP. Get a false flag. Hit the building I'm in. I don't care. I won't turn up for work. Hit the World Trade Center again, BB. Hit it again. We'll get it insured. We'll get it double insured. We'll take out life cover. Hit it again, BB.
Definitely not good. But the reason I think it's important to get a little more detailed about how that might happen is because there's military action in progress, which we're supporting. And the president has said clearly, including last night, that he is focused on eliminating the capacity of the Iranian government to produce nuclear weapons. You are saying we need to use military force to effect regime change.
I have not said that.
Oh, I must have.
No, I have not said that once.
Okay.
I don't think we need to use military force to do regime change. I said I support it. I would like to see it happen. You asked me how should it happen? A popular uprising. What I've advocated for. All right, let's step back a second. You and I, we've known each other a long time. I would say we agree on about 80% of the things on Earth.
For sure.
And there are a lot of things, and we can get into the nitty-gritty of foreign policy as much as you want. There are a lot of things on which you and I agree, not just a little bit, but violently.
I totally agree. I was rooting for you in your last campaign, for sure.
Well, thank you. Look, you have been heroic on the border. You've been one of the clearest and best voices in the whole country on securing the border and on the absolute crisis we're facing. And in Texas, I see it and live it every day. In COVID, in fact, you may recall in the middle of the COVID lockdown, I was out walking my dog when the whole world was shut down and we were living in lunatic times. And I called you and said, Tucker, your nightly monologues are the single best thing on television. Like I watch them like an injection of crack. Okay, I'm mixing my metaphor because you don't inject crack, but you get what I'm saying.
Try.
No, I mean, you were standing up and speaking like, what the hell are we doing in a way that we desperately, desperately needed. And so whether it's securing the border, whether it's the insanity of COVID lockdowns and the vaccine mandates, whether it is the Second Amendment or the First Amendment, you and I agree on a ton of stuff. The 20% where we disagree, I do think is meaningful. And it's mostly in the foreign policy space. And what I would say, if you'll allow me to get a little theoretical, and then I'm happy to get specific.
Yes.
For a long time, people had perceived two different poles of Republican foreign policy. There have been interventionists, and those have been people like John McCain and Lindsey Graham and George W. Bush. And there have been isolationists. And the most prominent of those have been Ron Paul and Rand Paul, and there are others. And people perceive those are the two choices. You got to be one or the other.
It's about hedging bets. Look, clearly they recognize that the Iranians have been underestimated. The fucked up. Netanyahu's out of control. The Zio influence in American politics. Like, everyone knows about it. Thing is, I don't know if they could get away with a false flag, because if anything does happen, everyone will just say it's a false flag. Like they got away with it 24 years ago. They will not get away with it now.
I've always thought both were wrong. I don't agree with either one. The way I view my own foreign policy.
I'm with you, by the way, for whatever it's worth. I agree with you.
Okay, good.
I don't know who set up that binary, but there are lots of choices, actually.
I mean, people sort of naturally fall into, I think they want to classify people, and they're like, okay, you're one or the other, and you got to be all or nothing. And the interventionists, it seems, have never seen a country they didn't want to invade, and that doesn't make any sense to me. And the isolationists, I think, don't take the threats to America seriously. And I think that's naive, and it doesn't work. And so my view, I consider myself a third point on the triangle. And what I describe that as is that I am a non-interventionist hawk, which sounds a little weird, but what do I mean by that? I mean the central touch point.
His real name is Rafael Cruz. His wife works for Goldman Sachs. Wow. I mean, what more do you need to know? But look, see if America don't get involved in this. It is a really big win. And we need to try and take some of the wins here.
For U.S. foreign...
Well, America can't penetrate it. Look, the Iranians are smart people, right? The Iranians aren't daft.
Policy, and for any question of military intervention, should be the vital national security interest of the United States. How does this make America safer? How does this protect Americans? If it does, we should be strong. And actually, another way of conceiving what I'm saying, I'm speaking theoretically, but Reagan referred to it as peace through strength. And actually, I think Donald Trump's foreign policy is very much what I'm describing, a non-interventionist hawk, where he understands that, and I think this is historically true.
Yeah, I mean, Bertie, they could overwhelm Israel with missiles, and I think they know that. They have said, well, look, Pakistan have said that if they drop a nuke on Iran, they'll drop one back on Israel, assuming nukes are real. They have also said if they kill the Ayatollah, or if they kill, if they attack the nuclear facilities, they will fly. The Iranians will fire everything. And according to some reports, they have hundreds of thousands of missiles. Israel don't have any Iron Dome left. If Iran launches everything, they'll flatten Tel Aviv. They'll flatten Haifa. They'll flatten Dimona. They'll flatten all their bases. And they might not survive it. And that would, I mean, there is a chance that Turkey would get in, and then Egypt could get involved as well. I mean, I'm not saying that might happen, but there's a chance it could if they felt Israel was weak enough.
Way to avoid.
I mean, Ehud Barak has said that no Jewish state has ever lasted more than 80 years. It was founded in 1948. And there is a chance.
Avoid war is being strong. That weakness and isolationism, I think, encourages war. So going back to regime change, where you started in Iran.
So just to make, I don't think I disagree with anything you've said. So we may not be that far apart, really, because you said that the single criterion for making decisions about America's foreign policy is America's national interest.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Which is also America first. That's another way of putting that as well. I think
it's the definition of it.
Yeah.
It's hardly breaking news. The U.S. dollar has been gravely devalued by Washington money printing. You print money out of thin air and the currency becomes weaker. You can purchase less with the same amount. The entire system is backed by nothing but the government's word.
Adverts?
What is that worth? People around the world are beginning to ask. So one of the results of this is that a lot of people want to invest in crypto. Many don't know where to start. That's where I Trust Capital comes in. Their platform makes the crypto game smarter, easier, safer, and you can understand it. With I Trust Capital, you buy and sell crypto inside a tax-advantaged IRA. That means the same long-term tax benefits of a retirement account paired with the freedom to invest in digital assets. They also offer secure non-retirement accounts, use an airtight security system, and have real human beings, experts on call if you ever need them. You just call up and you can talk to them in person. Creating an account is very simple. It takes just a few minutes. Click the link below or visit itrustcapital.com to start today.
The question is, are we watching that now?
So I think we are. And from what you've said publicly, I think on Iran in particular, you and I disagree. And all right, let me contrast it
Okay,
when
so
Obama
Tucker's
was
doing
president.
an advert for I Trust Capital. Kevin Maloney, okay, Irish. Blake Scadron, Trevor Gregory, Chris Franks. Looking a bit more swarthy the further down we go. Todd Kolker, Jared Feldman, Mike Teitelbaum is a senior creative director. Zachary Santor. So if Mike Teitelbaum is the senior creative director, would he be doing the adverts for I Trust Capital, Mr. Teitelbaum? This is why you always have to have a skeptical worldview, I think, when it comes to people. Right, I'm too hot. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm sick of you lot. I'm just going to start doing advert for I'm just going to start doing adverts for I Trust Capital or anyone else who'll pay me. Can I have Teitelbaum, please? I'm off the show tonight. My phone rings. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, David Clews speaking. David, it's Teitelbaum here. Teitelbaum, hello, how are you? Look. Gonna give you 100 grand. Don't mention the red heifers. We'll give you 100 grand. You can say all the anti-Jewish stuff, but just don't go too far, okay? You're our boy now. Just know that, but you get 100 grand. Okay, Teitelbaum, thank you. Thank you, Teitelbaum. Fine, Teitelbaum. I won't mention it anymore. Jeez, see you, Teitelbaum. Teitelbaum. Oh, David, when are you visiting the wall? We got to get you some pictures. Listen, David, you've done great work. You've sold so much on your show. We got to get you to Dubai. Got some nice ladies over there. We know you got to think for those Ukrainian broads. And you got to think for those matchmakers in a Bourneville. You know Teitelbaum will look after you, David. Come on. Come on. Teitelbaum. I mean, the guy's actually called, their chief marketing officer is called Teitelbaum. Where do we even go with this?